Hi, and welcome to Salesforce App Exchange Mavericks. My name is Phil Weinmeister. I'm the head of product with Salesforce Americas at IBM Consulting. I'm also a Salesforce MVP. I'm really excited to be here with Brian Dammeir with Adyen, who's going to share a little bit about their Salesforce App Exchange solution. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
To get started, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Adyen?
Absolutely. So my name is Brian Dammeir, and I'm president of North America with Adyen. I've been with Adyen for the last 7.5 years, and prior to being president of North America, I was Adyen's head of product, and I've been working in the fintech industry for the last decade. To talk a little bit about Adyen, we're a global financial technology company focusing on helping the world's largest brands reach their consumers all over the world. We work with brands like H&M, Spotify, and McDonald's to bring consumer financial experiences, primarily payments, all over the world across all channels, including online, in-app, and in-person, all with one platform.
Brian, thanks for the introduction and the overview. I definitely am hearing fintech being mentioned a lot these days. Can you tell us a little bit about fintech and why it's so important, as well as any trends you're currently seeing?
Absolutely. Fintech is a really wide area, right? There's all sorts of areas we could explore when it comes to fintech. Specifically for Adyen, we focus primarily on payment processing for merchants so that they can reach consumers all around the world with their goods and services. But if we take a big step back, fintech is part of a broader global digital transformation that's occurring. One of the things that COVID-19 really showed brands and leadership teams is that going forward, not only do you need to have a digital strategy, but you need to have a unified strategy across all of your channels. And we think that the confluence of fintech with that overall trend is very powerful. CTOs, CIOs, CFOs, they're all making really fundamental decisions today that are going to empower their brands going forward, whether that's your CRM, your ERP, your order management system, and then finally, and we would think very importantly, also your financial technology stack, primarily for payment processing. So it's all of these things together that are really driving transformation going forward, and why we think that fintech in general is a really critical piece to any brand's transformation strategy.
Thanks, Brian. And I really appreciate the context you provided looking at fintech as a part of overall digital transformation versus something that's isolated. So what makes Adyen so unique among other payment service providers?
It's a great question. And I think let's start with the premise, which is that payments is global and that brands need to have capabilities all over the world. But very importantly, payments are cultural and they're local. Consumers prefer to pay in wildly, fundamentally different ways depending on where you are in the world. And Adyen's advantage is a few. First and foremost, we have global breadth. With one solution, one integration, you can go all over the world. But next to that global breadth comes our overall depth in each of the markets in which we operate. We directly connect to all of the important payment methods and networks in that market and are able to offer that with one single solution. And then importantly, for multi-channel customers, we're able to provide with our one platform solution a multi-channel offering as well, offering in-app, online, and in-store capabilities, all in one platform, which enables our customers to offer a unified, consistent commerce experience across all of those channels.
Very interesting. I like how you framed up payments as having a cultural aspect. And I think that is one of the items that might underscore why Adyen is so unique. Let me ask you this. How do Salesforce and Adyen partner together to provide solutions for fintech?
So Salesforce and Adyen have a really critical relationship with each other. As we talked about before, really any digital transformation strategy has a few really important pillars to it. Like I said before, there's CRM, ERP, order management, and then the critical piece of payment processing and financial technology. What's really great about the relationship that we have with Salesforce is that, first and foremost, the breadth of our partnership across B2B, B2C, as well as order management. So whatever customers and brands are looking to do within the overall Salesforce ecosystem, they can leverage Adyen for the financial component of that. And then next to that, and really at the heart of this overall solution, would be our Salesforce cartridge, which allows with just a set of clicks to enable the entirety of the global Adyen platform that I talked about, bringing hundreds of payment methods across dozens of regions across all channels.
Well, I'm personally a big fan of clicks, and I know a lot of other people are as well. That's a great way to leverage the Salesforce platform. Brian, can you give an example of how your customers are using your solution?
Absolutely. I think a really great example of a partnership between both Salesforce and Adyen would be with Crocs. Crocs, I think, is a great example of a global retailer that needed to reach consumers all over the world with their product. And with the Adyen Salesforce solution, they were able to offer not only credit and debit cards, but also dozens of local payment methods in all the markets in which we operate. And because they leveraged the Salesforce Commerce Cloud solution using the Adyen connector, expanding into additional markets was seamless. So they were able to reduce overall operational overhead while expanding their great product all over the world.
Well, that's a great customer to have. All 4 of my kids wear their Crocs all the time and can't seem to get them off their feet. So heard a lot of great things about Adyen, but is there anything you can show us, maybe a demo?
Absolutely. Let's dive into the product a little bit to bring this to life. Adyen for Salesforce helps get your online store up and running quickly. If your web shop is ready to launch, but you need help with accepting payments, Adyen is a great solution for you. The Adyen for Salesforce Commerce Cloud plugin was built so that you can accept payments in no time, globally drive sales with an intuitive checkout, be kept up to date with all the latest payment innovations, and spend more time running your business. Adyen and Salesforce helps you to fast-track your payments.
Now, how can customers find out more about Adyen?
They can head over to the Salesforce App Exchange listing, or they can find us under Adyen. And the great thing there is they can get started with just a few clicks. But they can also head to adyen.com, that's adyen.com, reach out to us, and we would love to discuss how we can partner together.
That sounds simple enough. Well, thanks for joining me on Salesforce App Exchange Mavericks today. It's really been my pleasure.
Thanks for having me.